let's review Double Chocolate Cookie Crisp. Will putting the chocolate chips into chocolate cookies take this classic cereal to the next level? Friends, time to eat some cereal. Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to Cerealsly, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and I eat and review hundreds of cereals a year with episodes every single week in order to help you get the most out of your cereal experience. Today on Cerealsly, we're checking out the latest version of a classic cereal, Double Chocolate Cookie Crisp. Stick around to the end and I'll give you the full rating out of 5, and I'll let you know if it's worth your cereal investment. Now, the original Cookie Crisp has been around since 1977 and has been the most regular and recognizable cookie cereal since that time. We actually did a Cookie Cereal Showdown episode last year where we pitted Cookie Crisp and Chips Ahoy cereal against the then newly released Crumble cereal. Crumble lost miserably. I was not a fan. Chips Ahoy came out on top and Cookie Crisp landed squarely in the middle. And I think that speaks loudly to its current condition. We're going to try both of these in just a second, but most people, even those who loved Cookie Crisp as kids, would say that it's only okay nowadays. Despite being such a familiar cookie cereal, Cookie Crisp underwent several changes over the course of its life, most significantly when it changed from the blend of corn and wheat and rice and oat flour to the modern formulation that just contains corn flour. That change moved it from quite cookie-like to rather more puffy and crunchy in modern times. One other major change has dogged the Cookie Crisp brand over the course of its history, and that is the change of mascots. The original mascot was Cookie Jarvis. He was a wizard. But then in the 80s and 90s, the commercials and the box slowly transitioned to featuring a cop, Officer Crumb, chasing Cookie Crook and his dog Chip, who are always trying to steal boxes of Cookie Crisp. Why they couldn't just get a box of cereal legitimately was never explained, and that actually seems to be a running plot in many cereal advertisements, someone needing to steal the cereal. But it was Chip the dog who brought the rallying call of Cookie Crisp into the mainstream. That's the sound of cereal that I grew up with, and I love those old commercials. Shortly after the turn of the millennium came and went, though, Officer Crumb and Cookie Crook disappeared, and Chip the dog transmogrified into Chip the wolf, a much hipper mascot for the new generation. Here he is on the box. This was a super dumb move, in my opinion, but thankfully, at least Chip the wolf still yells Cookie Crisp. The big question today is, do you think putting more chocolate into the cookie pieces will help this cereal deserve that battle cry any more than it already did? Now, I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention that this isn't the first attempt at pepping up the Cookie Crisp flavor. In fact, there were originally 3 Cookie Crisp varieties: regular, vanilla wafer Cookie Crisp, and oatmeal cookie. Then later, flavors such as peanut butter cookie, holiday sprinkles, and birthday cake Cookie Crisp were all given a go. When the basis of your cereal is cookies, I'm actually surprised there weren't many more types attempted. This flavor variety says right on the box that it's not new, that it's actually a re-release from the 2000s. So maybe if you're a young person cereal eater out there, this is a major dose of nostalgia for you. I hope that's the case. In the end, I want to use all of my cereal experience to help you decide if you need a bowl of Double Chocolate Cookie Crisp. Hey, if you made it this far, I wish I could steal you a bowl of Cookie Crisp. But would you do me a favor? Would you like this video and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with what cereal we should look at together in a future episode? Doing any of those things would really help me out. All right, I think I am ready. I have got my bowls. I have got my spoon. I've got my trusty 1% milk that I like. And of course, I have the cereal of the hour. We are going to try both of these. And I think I am going to start with the classic, the original Cookie Crisp, to see what it tastes like, to get kind of a base so that we know how much the double chocolate has changed the formula. So let's open these things up, see what they look like in a bowl. Well, hopefully you can immediately see what I was talking about with this modern formulation. These are actually so puffy, aren't they? I remember as a kid, the different grains made it so that they were much more flat, much more cookie-like. These really are puffed up in a major way. I don't know why. They also seem much darker looking than I remembered. There isn't as big of a contrast between the chocolate chips in these and the cookie cereal piece itself. I'm sure that's going to be even less of a contrast once we get to the double chocolate. So it's a little odd seeing it here. I don't think I got like a burnt batch, but we'll have to taste it and see. So let's give a try to regular Cookie Crisp. Well, it certainly is crisp. I hope you heard the first couple chews because they were extremely loud. This has absolutely become far more crisp since I was a kid. As far as chocolate cookie taste, I get why it's still a classic. This stuff tastes good. In fact, I want to put milk on it right away to see if that brings out any nuance. All right, let us give a try to Cookie Crisp cereal in milk. Boy, this is such a rock solid idea. Little cookies in milk as a cereal makes total sense. I wonder if whoever came up with this gave his little pitch and everybody else said, yeah, duh. We should, of course, do that. Let me take one more bite. Yummy. I can taste a vanilla. I can taste a bakedness to this. It may not be blowing my socks off, but it is an absolute classic cereal for a reason. All right, let's put that one aside. Switch these boxes around. Now let's open up this new one or returning one, double chocolate. Gee, I am genuinely surprised at how similar they look. I'm not kidding around. This is the regular and this is the double chocolate. They look so similar. I really expected the double chocolate to be a much richer, dark brown, but it's only slightly more brown. Does that mean it's only slightly more chocolatey? Well, let's answer the question together right now. Let's try double chocolate Cookie Crisp. Slightly more chocolate flavor, but not that much. Just a quick back and forth here. Let me try the original again. And now the double chocolate. Okay. There is more cocoa, especially as you chew, it becomes more cocoa-ish in your mouth. It's fine. It's far from revolutionary, though. Let's put milk on it. Maybe that'll really pep it up. Let's give a try now to double chocolate Cookie Crisp in milk. If I went into a store and they had chocolate chip cookies and they had double chocolate chip cookies and they were this subtly different from each other, I would complain to the manager. Because these are different, but let's say like 5% different. Now, that can be a good thing. They retain everything pleasant about the original. They're very crisp. They're the exact same shape. They're cute little cookies that you should obviously be putting into milk and eating, but the need for their existence is very questionable in my mind. I'm going to be brave and do something bold here, which is I'm going to bring these things back. I want to try them back to back. These original have probably been sitting in the bowl for, let's say, 5 minutes. Will they hold up? Will they be total mush? Here's the regular. Still incredibly crispy. That is a huge benefit of this modern formulation, is that they really live up to the crisp. Even after sitting them in this bowl for a while, they're perfectly fine to eat. All right, now back to the double chocolate one. Minor difference. Minor difference in taste, minor difference in color, zero difference in crispiness and texture. Now, all that's left is to give this cereal a rating out of 5. Well, friends, we have done it all. We talked, we ate, we took every facet of taste and texture into consideration, and now it's enough. My final verdict on double chocolate Cookie Crisp is 2.5 out of 5, right down the middle of my rating scale. It is a totally fine cereal, but I have to tell you that I would now revise my past score of Cookie Crisp Original to a 3.0. So that means that if you're at the store and you want to pick up a box of Kabuki Crisp, I would opt for the original. But listen, if you want to try today's cereal for yourself, they're just starting to pop up at Walmarts in my area, so I'd check them out there. Listen, I'd love to spend even more cereal time together, and YouTube thinks you'll enjoy the videos that are on screen right now, so check those out while you're waiting for our brand new episode next week. Until then, never be soggy, friends. Bye-bye.